Today we're doing lesson 1.6. Of course, that means module 1, lesson 6. And your learning goal by the end of math today, and by the way, did you guys notice math isn't in its normal spot? We're just doing a teeny bit of math right now, just the problem of the day, and then we'll come back and do more math after lunch, okay? But anyway, after we do math today, your learning goal, you should be able to compare decimals using what you know about place value. Okay, you're going to think about everything you know about place value and how that helps you compare decimals. When you see a number written with just digits, kind of like this, what you have right here, what is this form called with a quiet answer hand? What is this form called? Sanjana?
Standard form.
Standard form, very good. So you might want to write down that this form is called standard form. Okay, very good. If we are going to compare these two numbers, 13,196 compared to 13,296, today we're always going to use a place value chart to help us compare numbers, okay? So go ahead and draw yourself a place value chart. And when we're drawing and lining up numbers in a place value chart, we always have to line up something very important. We have to line up the decimal point. Now in these two numbers, I don't see a decimal point. I see a comma, but I don't see a decimal point. Where would the decimal point go? Kish? Please.
Behind the 6.
Right here and right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw these two numbers in my place value chart, but I'm going to make sure I line up the decimal points. I'm going to have the decimal point there, and I see that I have a 6 in the ones place, a 9 in the tens place, a 1 in the hundreds place, a 3 in the thousands place, and a 1 in the 10,000s place. And then for my second number, same thing. And I want to make sure that my decimal points are lined up. Are my decimal points right on top of each other? Yes, that means they're lined up. Okay. Now we're going to start comparing from the left. Why do you think we start comparing from the left? Are these place values bigger or these place values bigger? The ones to the left are bigger. So we always compare starting with the ones that are the biggest. So what's the biggest place value here that I have a digit in? The what's place?
10,000.
The 10,000s place. Yeah, I have a 1 in both of the 10,000s place. So are those the same or different? Same. So if it's the same, we're going to move on. What's the next biggest place value? The thousands. Are those the same or different? Same. So we're going to move on. What's my next place value? Hundreds. Are those the same or different?
Different.
Ooh, I can see that having a 2 in the hundreds is greater than having a 1. So which number is bigger? 13,296 or 13,196?
13,296.
Very good. And we can write it using the greater than, equal to, or less than sign. Here's how you would write it. You would say 13,196, because that's our first number, is less than 13,296. Do you guys remember, did your teacher ever tell you a story about how this greater than, less than, or equal sign is kind of like an alligator's mouth? Yeah. And the alligator, does he like to eat the bigger number or the smaller number? Bigger. So right now, is his mouth pointed to the bigger number or smaller number? Bigger. So that means that this is the less than sign because the first number is less than the second number. Do you see that? Very good. I know that when I need to compare numbers, I need to draw a place value chart. So I'm going to do that. And I see here I have the number 12 and the number 2. So I'm going to write 2 and 12 like this. Is that correct?
No.
Did I line up any decimal places? No. So I need to make sure I line, there's like no decimals here. So I need to make sure I line up the decimal points. So I'm going to undo what I did there. And I'm going to write my first number, 0.012. Now, if my decimal point is here, that means my other decimal point needs to be right under it. They need to be lined up by being right on top of each other. Okay? And then if I look at this number, I can see that I have a 0.002. Okay, we're going to start comparing digits in the biggest place value I have here. What's the biggest place value I have digits in? 0 counts as a digit. So over here, it's always the right. What place is this? This is the ones because it's right to the left, directly to the left of the decimal point. They're the same, so we need to move on. What place value is this? Tenths. They're the same, so we need to move on. What place value is this? Hundreds. Are they the same?
No.
We have 100th in this number, but 0 hundredths in this number. So which one's bigger, 100th or 0 hundredths? Yeah, so therefore we can conclude that 0.012, is it greater than or less than 0.002?
Greater.
And we can make it so that the alligator's mouth is pointing at the bigger number. And this is how you would write your answer. How can we write fractions in a place value chart? Because I know Miss O said today when we're comparing numbers, we have to use a place value chart. How could I possibly, I didn't use place value chart when I was learning about fractions in 4th grade. How can I use what I know about fractions and decimals to put this on a place value chart? Jonathan? Ooh, do I know that 299 thousandths? How can I write that as a decimal? 0.299. Is that the same thing as 299 thousandths? What about 3/10? 0.3. Now I can compare. Okay, let me make my place value chart. And I'm going to say 3 and then 299. Does this work, you guys? Take a look at what I've written. Does this work?
No.
Wait, why not? I lined everything up on the right-hand side. What's wrong? Arvind?
The decimals have to be aligned.
Are my decimals right on top of each other?
No.
Are they lined up?
No.
No. If my decimal point is here, where does it need to be? It needs to be right on top of it. So 0.3 is like this. Do you see that?
Yes.
Would we have gotten well, let's see if we would have gotten the right answer if we didn't line them up. We can make sure our decimal points are lined up if they're right on top of each other. Okay, what's my leftmost or what's my biggest place value that I have here?
Ones.
The ones. I have 0 in both ones. Is it the same or different? The same. We need to move on. What's my next biggest place value? The what's place? 10th place. Are they the same?
No.
No, in this number I have 3/10, and in this number I have 2/10. So which one's bigger, 3/10 or 2/10?
3/10.
So which number is bigger, 3/10 or 299 thousandths?
3/10.
So I could say 3/10 is greater than 299 thousandths, and that's my answer. Now, did you guys see how originally I lined everything up on the right-hand side? Let me show you what would have happened if I continued doing that. Because you know how sometimes when we add things, we line everything up on the right-hand side, right? So if I had done this, and I compared, I would have said, these are zeros, right? So I would have said, okay, those are the same. Oh, this is not the same. 2 is bigger than 0. So therefore, 0.229 is greater than 0.3. Is that possible?
No.
No. So it's very important. This is one of those common mistakes